Hey everyone, it's Gary here, and today I want to talk to you about getting copy onto your website and some of the considerations you should take into account when you're developing your website. Now, today is not the day where I try to convince you that I am a great copywriter. I'm not. I'm okay. I've practiced for many years, I've studied for many years, but I will tell you right now, there are so many better true copy artists out there, and I'm not truly one of them. Okay, I'm pretty good, but I'm not what I would call a high-end copywriter because I don't try to be. Now, in a lifestyle business, you won't need to be a high-end copywriter either, but there are things that I want you to think about, that I want you to take into account to make your website better so that you can convert more. But again, in a lifestyle business, you're not dependent on the copy as though you're a, let's call it a guru type business, an info marketing business where you have the long form style copy. That's when you actually want to hire someone. If that's the type of business you're going to go into, hire a good copywriter. It will be the best money you've ever spent. In the meantime, I'll post some references to some good books, some good things that you can read, that you can study so that you can get good enough for a lifestyle type business, for the type of business that I'm encouraging you to go into. Now, in the previous video, I talked about how we are just going to outsource our website template. In other words, we're going to buy one, okay? If you get a free one, great. But in my case, I bought one. And the reason I bought it was I liked how the whole thing laid out, and I knew that it basically met the needs of what I wanted. Something in my head was already out on the computer, so I thought, just get that one, pay the 50 bucks, and boom, go. Now, I'll tell you straight up that it's not perfect, okay? If you want perfect, you go full custom, you pull $10,000 out of your pocket, and you get it done. But you don't need full custom. What you need is what I call good enough. And I'll tell you that the first thing I don't like with this template is the fact that we're using white text on this mottled or whatever blurred background. And the reason I don't like it is because we have white over dark, which is good, but then we have white over light, which is not good. So typically when I have a background, I like to have a dark background and light text, but preferably a light background with dark text. It makes it more readable. But again, I'm looking for good enough. I'm not looking for perfect. So I settled on this knowing that this isn't exactly what I want, but it's good enough to get going for the type of business that we are promoting, which is a product business, right? A lifestyle business is a product business. It's not a guru business. But anytime you are writing copy, what you want to do is you want to try to minimize the amount of text you put out to get the message across. So what I do is I come through and I will actually come back to my website, not the same day I wrote it, not the second day, but the third, fourth day. I really actually want to forget that I wrote what I wrote. I mean, it's not as bad as being senile and hiding your own Easter eggs, but I think you get the point. I want to forget what I wrote, so when I read it, it's somewhat fresh. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to look for things and see what I can chop out. I want to chop out 2 words here, 3 words there, half a sentence here, and I want to read this thing out loud. I want to see what I can get rid of, because the more text you can get rid of and still have the same message come out, the better your content is going to be, the better your copy is going to be, the easier it's going to be to read, and faster for your audience to read it, because you want them to get the message as quickly as possible. You don't want to belabor the point. So when you come in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for things like this and say, look, pause and replay as often as you need to make sure you master every step of everything I teach you. Well, this I really don't need. Pause and replay as often as you need to make sure you master every step. That would be enough. Of course I'm teaching it. I don't need to state that again. So I'll just come back into my template and edit that out. Again, I'm not trying to rewrite it. What I'm looking to do is reduce it. There. You see how I've reduced by what, 4 or 5? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've taken 5 words out, but I haven't changed the meaning. And that's really what I'm trying to do. Remove things, but don't change things. And I'm going to come down here, and you see where it's, do you want it delivered to your inbox instead? Well, I don't need all that, because I can remove 2 words and I'll have the same meaning. And again, at the sentence right below it, just tell me where to send it and you'll have it instantly. I can remove 1 word. Save it, update it, and we'll refresh it. All right, when you look at this website now, you would never know that I've taken words out because I actually didn't need them to begin with. And that's what you want to do. You want to go through and make sure you have clear backgrounds, clear contrasting backgrounds. This here is going to be a lot easier to read than this text here. So this is a problem with my website, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Again, it's good enough. I got to keep moving. And when you look at all these sentences, they are perfectly legitimate the way they are. I don't need those extra words. If I don't need the extra words, I should get rid of those extra words. So this is about the 4th time I've gone through this. I've been chopping, and hopefully now when people read through this website, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. And at some point, you need to stop as well. You can change your message over and over again, but remember, you're not pouring concrete, you're making a website, get it done, move on to something else, focus on your products, focus on your sellings, focus on, whatever else you need to do, move past your website, because you can always change it later. And you don't even know that the changes you're making are even going to help you convert any more than the old product that you had. I mean, you might make a lot of changes, you might spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and in the end, you may not even get an improvement. So get it good enough, reduce as much as you can, and then move on. Me personally, this will bother me until I change this background. I don't know when I'll change it. If the thing converts as it is, probably never. If I find that the conversions aren't high enough, I'll start looking for things to change, to try, to experiment with, to get that conversion rate higher. I will tell you, this bothers me because this is what people see when they first come into the page. So I typically want this to be as easy to read as possible, because if this isn't easy to read, they may not scroll down to this section or get down to the video. But I have to move on. I can't sit here forever. So that's my message to you. A, make sure you have good contrast in your backgrounds to your font. If you have a light font, make sure you have a dark background. If you have a light background, make sure you have a dark font. Light background with a dark font is almost always going to be easier to read. 2, reduce as much as you can. Chop out all the extra words, you don't need them. 3, make sure it's benefit focused versus me focused. No one cares about our features. They only care about what I'm doing for you. And finally, in the end, quit. Get to a point, be happy enough with good enough, and quit. All right, this is Gary with Simple Selling Secrets, helping you sell more faster with simple secrets. Bye now.